basically it was just being around my dad, racing all the time. And he's always worked on cars and see people coming in and out all the time racing and be on the side of the road, watching him street race, stuff like that. Going to the track, seeing him stick his throttle wide open, run off the back and stuff. Crazy stuff. Yeah, he did that. First time, I think it was the first time he tried nitrous, wasn't it? Yeah, first time he tried nitrous out and it hung open and never let out. Was like, damn, he's crazy. But he just kept on going and ended up being a throttle stuck open on him. But he had a 72 C10 Chevrolet truck. And I actually got shot in the eye with a BB gun or a pellet gun one time. And my mom took me to the hospital in that truck. And we got there extremely fast. She just ran through all the red lights, like everything. I'm pretty sure cops were chasing us and stuff. I got 2 scars actually, where it come in and come out. But she didn't know that it didn't come out, didn't know what happened. We just had blood pouring from my face. I don't know how old I was, but yeah, I remember that. She grabbed me up and took off, and we got to the hospital really quick. I pretty much always tried to race anything I could at any time, no matter if it was a go-kart, lawnmower, carts at Walmart, like whatever we could race. Hell, we raced these things at the mall not too long ago, actually. There's a video somewhere, and they had these electric animals that you could drive around in the mall in North Carolina. It was at an SCT event. There was like 5 or 6 of us trying to race around the mall in these things. Yeah, it was a good time. But we always just want to race everything. But street racing, I don't know if there was no official thing, because I was down to race at any time, anywhere, whenever I could, honestly. Back in the Honda days, always just wanted to go fast and see if I could win. If it didn't, make it faster, win next time. Yeah, I don't know when it was official. In this car, I could tell you it was, well, right after I built it. It was almost 8 years ago, I guess now. Started off wanting to do it as my goal, intentions, being young and a little bit, didn't really know enough about racing and stuff. I thought I was gonna do some high-speed drifts in this sucker, but I had a power glide in it. Didn't know I should probably have a manual transmission, do some stuff like that. But it did do it. I mean, I could go 100 mile an hour, whip it sideways and try. I thought I was gonna wreck all the time because I wasn't very good at it. So I went to the drag strip, hit it, done really good. And then that was what caught on. Just kept wanting to go faster and faster and faster. And I sold it, actually bought the Alignment Plus business and bought the car back not too long after that and sold it again to do some stuff here into this shop. But then I had Mark Kelly and them, they agreed to come in with me as a partnership and stuff. So bought the car back again, and after it went through all kinds of people, it was a lot. It's been a rough relationship for 8 years now with this thing. It's been all over the place. It needed a lot of attention every time it come back. But that's usually how I get it back. Somebody messed something up and brings it back, I'll fix it and make it faster. But as soon as I fix it, I sell it. Like anything in it, the motor, transmission, I sold all of it. And I want to start over. Just start from scratch, do it again.
Well, I mean, all right, so as a street racer, go through like the mental preparation you go through before a race, like say on a bad run.
Oh man, I don't know if you want to know what goes through my head. Because honestly, I can't remember half the time because it's a lot that goes through it. Main thing is tire pressure right? Do I need to do a burnout? Should I do a burnout? Most time I don't like to do one if it's a really crappy spot. I don't know why, but it works really good if it's a horrible surface. When I say horrible, not meaning like slick. If it's slick and smooth, I've learned now, when I raced the other Juggernaut, I have to do a burnout. Thought that I'd go out there on something that was kind of crappy and just dry hop it and send it, but it spun and he won. And I come back, race on Mustang Mike. I done a hell of a burnout and it left. I mean, it left like I was on a prep surface. It left really good. So it's just different areas. If you can go up, I learned now just kick the surface. If you can knock some rocks off of it, don't do a burnout. If it's really slick, do a good burnout. Now we can lay your surface to leave on. But up top, it does whatever it does either way. So if it gets out of shape, just drive through it. But we did out at the airport. We shot out and rode it on through. been really good though.
You're going to JJ's Fastest in America in a few weeks.
We're not supposed to give like a exact date or location because honestly, we don't know a location right now. All we know is it's 1,000 miles west of Memphis, and we're supposed to be there beginning of next month at some point, and got to expect to be there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Tell me what it took to get on the team, South Carolina's team.
That wasn't that bad, honestly, because we went from a 275 Pro radio racing to the next week. I set a set of tires I used to use. Actually, they were 4-year-old tires on there, but they were 29.5 1650s. I beat some room into the quarter panels and make sure I could stick it in there, and went out to the street. We tested at the back of Shadyside. The guys up there let us use the track just to get some testing in, and we thought it was just a lost cause at first because it would not do anything. And then Jonathan, my suspension technician guy, he was like, well, maybe we can put some weight in it. So we got looking around, talked to the guys out there at the track, and they let us borrow their tractor weights they put on the back of the tractors, or on the front of the tractors, actually, I think. And we stacked a bunch of weight in the back of the car, strapped it on ratchet straps, torqued it down, and made it hold good. Messed up my fuel cell pretty good. But we got in there. After that, tried to do a burnout. And this day we learned about the burnout. Tried to do a burnout, hit it again, it spin. I turn around, stop with nothing, nothing on the ground. Get on the trans brake, launch again, and try to jerk the front end off the ground. And that's when I was like, we don't need to do burnouts on stuff like this. It's going to work. And that's when that all came about. But Jonathan's hard-headed, and he wouldn't let me not do a burnout. So he kept telling me to do a burnout until he seen, but he didn't see it up top. All they saw was the car just jump out and go out, and they didn't know if I'd done anything up there, but it just worked really good with no burnout on a really horrible surface. But I think it's just because the tire gets too soft in the burnout, and once you try to hit it with the tire soft, it rips the rubber off the tire instead of grabbing the rocks and moving you. It's my only way of understanding it, because I've never seen that work other than this thing doing it those few times. Well, now a bunch of times because we've done it a good bit.
Tell us about Juggernaut, how you got the name, and tell us about the car.
Well, that's pretty interesting. My buddy Austin Chapman, he's a gamer nerd, and he likes comic books and all this stuff. And I made a post on Facebook one day and said, I need a name for my car, and anybody got any good ideas? And Austin puts on there, he said, the Juggernaut. I said, what the heck is that? And he posted a picture of it, and it was the color of my car, and it was called the Juggernaut. He was massive. He said, it's called the Unstoppable Juggernaut. I said, that's badass. Let's do that. So that's where the name came from. That's the first time I've heard Avenger. I've heard a lot of stuff. People always call it a Mustang, freaking Camaro, Accord, Ford Probe, RX-7, RX-8, all kinds of different stuff. A Supra one time. Or a Celica. Actually, this dude, one photographer, made me a picture thing at a race, at a no-pit race, and he brought it to me. He said, hey, you want to buy this? It had this quote on top of it. It says Suprajet. I said, what the heck's a Suprajet? He said, that's a Supra, right? I said, no, it's a Nissan, man. It's a Nissan 240. He said, oh, we can have that. I'll go make you another one. I said, okay. And I got in there hanging on the wall. I gave it to my kids. My son, he always wanted a little picture stuff like that put in his room. And it was laminated with this sleeve or whatever, so I gave it to him. And he played with it for a while. And then I found it one day in there and went and hung it up in the office because I guess he found my other one because I don't know where the 240 one is. I found the Suprajet one and got it still. Well, this thing, I bought it as a bone stock car with a blown up 4-cylinder motor in it a long time ago from some lady in Colombia. And then bought another one that had better panels on it and stuff, and basically put 2 cars into one, the rest of the stuff to help pay for stuff on it, and then went back into it with a 4.8 motor, little LS engine that had, 488,000 miles in it or something. I was thinking, hell, the rings will be broke in good. I won't have to gap them or nothing and stick this thing. I didn't know how to build no motor or nothing. Stuck that together, put an eBay turbo on it, and it made good power. I think it was 660, 680, something like that. Turned up pretty good. To me, back then, that's pretty good power, especially on an 18-inch rim with a rubber band tire. I'll just blow tires off everywhere I go. So it was awesome. To me, I thought I was doing something. Put that together in there, and it was a fun time. It lasted until I sold it. Then that guy finally had it. Actually, I think it came back. When I got it back is when it cracked the ringland. And when it cracked the ringland, let's get rid of this thing again, let it roll, and then sold it, got it back again. And that's when it just kept rolling different. I'm probably on the 10th or 12th setup now in this thing. It's been a long, long journey with this thing. It's been gray before. It was painted orange, kind of similar to that. It was a lot darker. It's actually in the door jambs. That's a wrap they put on there, but we got it wrapped gray because had this whole gray kick, making stuff gray. And my buddy Adam, his dad called it concrete gray or something like that. Or no, that was Charlie. Charlie named it, at the paint shop, started calling it Becker gray because every car that I took over there to get painted, it was that gray color. And he started calling it Becker gray and selling it as that. But I'm pretty sure it was Adam's dad that called it concrete gray or something like that, something to do with, then they called it Becker gray. So then every time after that, it was called Becker gray to stuff. But I sold the car again, and that dude pulled the wrap off in the wintertime and ripped the paint off the car, like in certain spots. It messed it all up. So when I got it back, it had chunks took out of the doors and all this stuff. And I called myself doing some body work and smoothing it out, but didn't want to pay to get painted again. So I hit up Thomas at Sticky Graphics and was like, hey, I got this thing pretty smooth. I need another wrap. He said, we do it Becker gray again? I was like, nope. So I'm gonna do it orange, but I want it brighter. Before, a lot brighter than before. Like I want something that pops, and gives a whole different look, but still the same concept on everything. Because the gray just took away the whole Juggernaut theme, in my opinion. But so I went back with that and then made that hood out of 3 different things. I think it was. Started off as a carbon fiber hood, bought forever ago, cut a huge hole in it so my intake would fit, and just let it hang. The sucker, if it had a hood. A lot of times I just done it with no hood at all. I mean, hell, it wouldn't. The setups I had wouldn't have fit through that hood because there was the big intercoolers between the Holly High rim, and it sticks up another 6 inches taller. Yeah, it wouldn't fit. I had to cut a hole in that one if I'd done another intercooler setup like that. That one has about a 3/4 of an inch clearance from throttle body to the hood, but it's because the motor's so far forward. Eventually, if I ever get a front half and some stuff done, we're going to try to move the firewall back and actually move the motor back in the car, make the weight work better and all that stuff for it. But I still got all the stock stuff on the front, and we messed that up pretty good too. Went down that wheelie, come down, bent the frame rail. That was right when we pulled the motor out, took it and got the frame straightened back out. He told me it was about 3 inches difference on the frame rails, and we had went the fastest the car's ever been after we bent the frame like that. We just adjusted it out and rolled with it. This whole time until last week, we've been racing it with the frame rail basically totaled. It's been working, it just took so much adjustment. Move one thing, it was like it bent it worse and worse. Like it just kept doing it, so we had to move all kinds of crap. We were on the scales every other day, just try to get the car back right. If it turned any, we never knew which direction it was coming from because it was flexing so bad. So now I got dents on the top of the fenders, the roof's rippled, motor plate ripped out, the strut tower is jacked up before the coilover snapped in half, went through it. Now it's pretty daggone solid. Rode that with it, that wear soles, and it came down smooth, but come back, put it on the lift again and checked it. It was all exactly where it needed to be at. We just added some bars from the cage up to the front. Tell him get over there with your boy Philip Hartman and get back in there and get the front end done. Well, right now we got basically one, and then me, and then my help. I would consider them as a sponsor because they're always there to help me whenever I need anything to do anything. Oh, Jake Tinsley, he's pretty much done all my powder cutting for me and stuff, didn't charge me nothing, and wanted it all done, and he's always been able to do it. And then Thomas, I mean, he hooks me up on the wrap. He hooks me up really good with Sticky Graphics. His name's on the back of the car. So that, and then IDS, they hooked me up with a good deal on suspension stuff. They got my coilovers every time I snap them in half. They're ready to send me another one, and the hardware and all that good stuff. That's why they match now. Because now they make them with a black deal on the front. I don't know what it's called. It's whatever the thing threads down into. It's a big metal piece. So that one's black and that one's silver, but because I keep breaking that one. That's the only real sponsor to have verified right now. I've had a few people donate to us because we're leaving to go do the filming in a few weeks or whatever. And Jeremy Barron with Muffler Shop, he sent us money for it. Said good luck. Didn't really want to do no sponsorship or anything, just wanted to contribute to it. Jason Cooley out of Abbeville, he's got a shop down there that does all kinds of like custom wheels, tires, lift kits. Now he's getting into cam spots and stuff. I've tuned a few trucks for him. He sent some money toward it, you know, just to help out with stuff. I got a few more that we're talking to right now, but hadn't locked any other ones in on nothing yet. Yeah, we're still looking for some sponsorship. It's just a really short amount of time. Anyone that wants to do it, I mean, they're more than welcome to. Or if you want to donate, that'd be awesome too. But if you want to do a sponsorship, get a sticker made or something, we just need to know fast. That way I can get something done up with Thomas and get it on the car and make it look good and all that good stuff. Thing in the email, PDF file that I can send to anyone that wants to do a sponsorship. That's an official sheet that lays out everything for the back window. They want to do like a full panel hood or driver's side window on the front, right in front of where I see, just let me know and we can work out something on how much it costs to do that. Had a guy want to put his name where my name should go on the window on the driver's side. I was willing to talk to him about it because it's gonna be extremely expensive. If he pays me enough, I'll put his name on that driver's side door, you know.